Low IQ NBA moments. The NBA is the most well-known basketball league in the United States and worldwide. It is one of the few sports with a global fan base of approximately 2.3 billion people, both male and female. In general, the NBA contributes roughly $10 billion to annual revenue, so it's no surprise that the players must be talented and hardworking enough to entertain and win. But sometimes they miss it, and not in a respectful way. They miss as if they've never played the game before. Let's look at some low IQ moments of players in the NBA. James Harden gives up a free bucket. James Harden's slow start is one of the biggest storylines of the 2021-2022 season. We've gone into detail about why Harden is struggling, a combination of a lingering hamstring injury from last season's playoffs and a rule change that has reduced shooting fouls. But it's still shocking to see one of the best players of this generation have come true lowlights in the first few weeks of the new season. One of them resulted in yet another viral moment that Harden will tire of seeing over and over. Harden was stripped in the third quarter by Saddiq Bey of Detroit. Harden jogged up to the loose ball as it bounced down the court, but he didn't bend down to grab it. On the other hand, Bey scooped it up and glided in for the dunk. Michael Porter Jr. misses an easy dunk. Players all over the NBA are struggling to find their stride. Damian Lillard has one of his worst seasons in Portland, while Steph Curry has one of the least efficient shooting seasons in years. Unfortunately for the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. is in similar territory to begin the season. Through 8 games, he's averaging 10.9 points per game, down from 19 a year ago, on 36% shooting, a career low. That is bad enough in and of itself. However, things went from bad to worse for MPJ on Saturday night when he missed a wide-open fast-break layup in front of his home crowd. The video went viral online, sparking criticism and trolling from both fans and detractors. Tristan Thompson misses a dunk right in front of him. Free throws are frequently the most tedious aspect of basketball games. The lull of a lone guy shooting uncontested 15-footers is kind of boring in a fast-paced game with many moving parts every second. However, Chicago Bulls center Tristan Thompson found a way to make this mundane trip interesting. Thompson first missed his first free throw attempt. It's not surprising that the Bulls center missed a free throw. He's a career 60% free throw shooter. However, the way he missed the rim was both hilarious and sad. Thompson's stunned expression after the air ball was the icing on the cake. Warriors lose after Draymond shoots game-tying 3. On Monday night, the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs played a thrilling game that came down to the final possession. With 8.7 seconds remaining, Golden State was inbounding the ball from half court, trailing by 3 points. Everyone in the building assumed Stephen Curry had the ball. Golden State intended to pass the inbounds pass to Curry, but he couldn't get away from Spurs defender DeJounte Murray. Instead, Damian Lee saw Draymond Green call for the ball and passed it to him across the court. Green grabbed the ball between the half-court and three-point lines. Green could have attempted to find Curry or create a scoring opportunity off a drive and kick, but instead, he shot the ball as soon as he got it. The deep three could have gone better. The Spurs win 105-100. Immediately, everyone on Twitter was asking the same thing. What was Draymond thinking? Russell Westbrook falls on his butt. NBA players are frequently known to block dead ball shots, but one attempt during Sunday's game between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder nearly resulted in an injury. Westbrook's pull-up jumper has become one of the best in the league, but while his field goal attempts have increased by 5 shots per game over the last 2 seasons, his assists have decreased by nearly 3. After a timeout, Pacers wingman Paul George casually swished a three-pointer. Russell Westbrook blocked it, sending it back to George Hill, who attempted another three-pointer. Westbrook swatted it again, only to collapse backward. Fortunately, Westbrook was unharmed, but the Thunder were defeated 102-97. Bojan Bogdanovic's funny fall. Utah forward Bojan Bogdanovic knelt under the basket, kept his dribble alive, and rose to his feet to score his first points of the game against the Toronto Raptors. Bogdanovic's bucket came in the first quarter of Sunday's game between the Jazz and the 2018-19 NBA champion Raptors. With Utah leading 7-5 in the first quarter, the Jazz forward received a pass from Royce O'Neal. Bogdanovic drove to the basket while being guarded by Toronto center Marc Gasol. Bogey slipped and fell to the court on his knees under the basket before rising, turning around, and nailing a 6-foot jumper for his first game points. Brandon Jennings' low IQ moment. Brandon Byron Jennings is a former professional basketball player from the United States who played 9 seasons in the National Basketball Association. He is well known for being one of the first Americans to make the transition from high school to the professional ranks in Europe. Jennings' poor basketball IQ is entirely due to poor shot selection. He's the king of jumpers, as evidenced by a random 55-point performance as a rookie, but he's never lived up to any of the expectations. Jennings, a smaller point guard with a thin frame and a game that relies on heat, consistently takes terrible shots and disrupts his team's offensive flow. He has the potential to be an elite talent, but his soft mental approach to the game keeps him back. Nick Young celebrates three-point miss. If there were ever a time to expect a jump shot to fall, it was in the third quarter of the Lakers' 127-96 thrashing of the Knicks on Tuesday. And if there was ever a player who could be certain his jump shot was going in, it is, without a doubt, Nick Young. When he prematurely celebrated a three-pointer that ended up missing at the end of the Lakers' historic 51-point third-quarter performance, LA's swag master-in-chief brought the house down. Young set up a step-back three-pointer over Tim Hardaway Jr. in the final seconds of the period, turning his back to the basket once he thought it was in. Young raised both arms to his sides, three fingers extended, as the ball ricocheted off the rim, only to turn around and throw his head back in disbelief when he realized his shot had missed the mark. Josh Smith makes a game-winning three-pointer. While Pistons fans celebrate Josh Smith's game-winning three-pointer, Atlanta fans and past Smith fantasy owners will tell you that you don't want the athletic freak of nature settling for too many shots behind the arc. Given that he's coming off a season in which he attempted the most three-pointers of his career, and that he has Monroe and the beast that is Andre Drummond down low, Smith for three could become a common phrase in Detroit. Let's hope 9 attempts aren't too common in the box score. Despite scoring 20 points, Smith struggled from the field, hitting only 6 of 17, 3-9 from 3, and 5 of 11 from the free throw line. The more disappointing statistic is that he had no steals or blocks, which are the cats that every fantasy owner looks for when drafting Smith. This is also something that every Smith fan wishes to see more of. Ryan Kelly's funny fall. Kelly is a dope-faced forward who showed enormous potential at Duke, but was inexplicably drafted by the Lakers despite not having any elite attributes. On paper, he's a decent stretch 4, but he frequently makes poor offensive decisions and could be a better defender. He appears awkward and unprepared and most likely does not belong in the NBA. If the refs had called it a carry, we wouldn't have this incredible clip of Chandler Parsons breaking Ryan Kelly's ankles and then hitting a nice layup. Chandler also required the bucket because he was struggling from the outside, 1-5 3-point. Kelly had 2 rebounds in 23 minutes and missed all 4 of his field goal attempts. Andre Drummond misses a dunk. Andre Drummond, the Brooklyn Nets' newest addition, considered bringing peace to the arena between what? We don't know. But we know that this sequence in the Nets vs. Heat game is one of the most hilarious things you've ever seen on a basketball court. The players' own team bench was having the most fun out of everyone in the arena, as they couldn't stop laughing and giving their teammate a standing ovation after a great play. Despite dominating the entire game and taking a massive dub against the Miami Heat, the Brooklyn Nets had the last laugh. Though Harden is providing the 76ers with the results they have always desired, building one of the league's strongest squads, Drummond appears to be doing the same, highlighting that he is no less than a star himself and has assisted his team in regaining their form and getting the wins they have been missing for a long time. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing NBA content.